Hi, dear friends, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so excited to share with you today a very delicious, very tender, and seasonal dessert. I'm going to make a cheesecake today, but it's not just any cheesecake. It's a berry cheesecake. I've got a bountiful supply of strawberries right now, but you can use any berry you like. Blueberries and currants are great, too. And here's another plus, you don't even have to turn on the oven. That's a big plus in the heat of summer. As always, everything is very easy and simple. Just watch your hands. So, let's get started. Here's what you'll need to make a mold with a diameter of 16 centimeters. For the crunchy base, you'll need 85 grams of crackers or shortbread cookies, 40 grams of butter, and 330 grams of cream cheese, 110 grams of 35% cream, and 80 grams of powdered sugar for the mousse and jelly. You'll also need a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 16 grams of gelatin and 55 milliliters of water, 350 grams of strawberries or other frozen berries, 20 grams of sugar, and half a lemon, zest and juice. This cheesecake is super easy to make either in a mold or in a pastry ring. I'm going to make a small cake today, so I'll use a ring. If you're not using a mold, just make sure to cover it with foil. Now, let's make the bottom. Tighten the foil. Guess what? I'm not going to bake today. I'm going to use these delicious sweet crackers for the crust instead. You can use shortbread cookies, which are delicious and not too sweet. Now, the crackers need to be turned into crumbs. You can put them in a small bag and with a rolling pin, give them a good crushing. You can also use a blender if you like. You can make the crumbs as coarse or as fine as you like, but just make sure they're crumbs. Now, take a mixing bowl and pour it in. Now, the crumble is nice and crumbly, but we need to glue it together somehow. The good news is that we can do it with butter. Now, we just need to melt the butter. You can do this in the microwave or carefully on the stove. Once it's melted, add it to the cookies. Now, just mix all the crumbs in the butter until everything is nice and combined. Now, don't forget to test the cookies with your hands. It should start to come together, gathering in a little lump and not crumbling. It's soft enough, my friend. If this doesn't happen, don't worry. Just add a little more butter. Now it's time to pour the mixture into the prepared mold and place it on a sheet of biscuit baking molds. It's a great idea to place the mold with the film on the bottom on a stable surface. You could use a small baking tray, a small board, or even a mold for baking. Now, this is the fun part. Take the mold and place it on a stable surface. I like to use a small baking tray, then pour the crumbs over the bottom. Now, it's time to compress. You can use any cup with a flat bottom. I like to use a glass. Press it down firmly, and you'll have the perfect base for our future cheesecake. Try to get the cookie crumbs as evenly distributed as possible. Make sure the crust is also as even as possible without skewing. After that, we put the mold together with the cake and the base into the refrigerator. Let it stand there to cool down and fix itself properly. While the base is cooling, let's get the cheesecake mixture ready together. I'm going to use frozen berries for the cheesecake mixture, which I think will taste absolutely delicious. I have some really good strawberries, but as I said at the beginning, you can actually use any other berry for the mixture if you don't have strawberries. You can use frozen berries, if you like. Add sugar, lemon zest, and lemon juice. Then, put it on the fire on medium heat to bring it to that strong, warm, almost hot state. Make sure you completely dissolve the sugar, but bring it to a boil. Boiling and even overheating anything is fine, because we don't want to lose that delicious berry flavor. When the berries are ready, you can turn them into a puree with a blender. It smells really good. Let's let it cool down a bit for now, and then we'll get started. Immediately pour the gelatin into cold water and mix well. Then, let it swell. Now, let's make the cream cheese. Put it in a mixing bowl, add vanilla extract and powdered sugar, and mix it all together with a spatula. Start at low speed and then increase the speed. This is how you get a smooth, lump-free cream cheese mass. Leave the cream cheese aside for now. Now, let's get back to that gorgeous strawberry puree and gelatin. It's important to melt it quickly in the microwave and then stir it in with a whisk, so it blends well with the warm strawberry puree. Once again, I'll blend it all together with the gelatin, so there are no lumps left. This helps everything to disperse perfectly and makes the cheesecake more delicate and airy. Then, I'll add the cream cheese through a sieve to make it even more beautiful. You don't have to use the sieve, but I would recommend it if you want a uniform color and a taste that's free of any strawberry seeds. Once again, take your mixer and whip everything into a homogeneous mass. Be sure to give it a good stir to get a nice, smooth consistency. And now for the fun part. Grab a separate bowl and whip the cream with just a touch of powdered sugar. You'll know it's ready when you see that beautiful, clear pattern forming in the cream. It means it's reached soft peaks. It's time to mix in the whipped cream. You can do this in 2 simple steps. First, add 1/2 of the spoonful of whipped cream to the mixture. Then, use the spoon to mix it all together. Now for the second half. Add the remaining and give it a good stir. You want the mixture to be nice and homogeneous in color, with no white creamy streaks left behind. Now it's time to take the mold out of the fridge. Now for the fun part. Carefully fill the mold with our delicious cream cheese mousse, and watch it turn out so tender and delicious. Gently, with a spatula, I level the mixture so that it's nice and even in the pan. We're going to pop this beauty in the freezer for about 40-50-60 minutes. Now, just grab up the cheesecake and pop it into the freezer. And now for the final touch, fresh berries. If you can get your hands on some fresh berries, go for it. They're the perfect finishing touch to any dessert. But if you're like me and the berries haven't hit the market yet, don't fret. Frozen berries are a great alternative. I'm using strawberries in my cheesecake, so I've cut them into slices to make them easier to arrange. While the gelatin is soaking in cold water, give it a stir and let it swell. Now, let me just prepare the syrup for you. I just took the most ordinary water and mixed it with lemon juice and added a little sugar. I give it a good stir until all the sugar is dissolved. I'm going to give my jelly a lovely, delicate color with the help of the same frozen berries. I take a little bit and mix it all up really well. Look at this gorgeous light color I've got. Now, I'll just strain the liquid through a sieve. Now, I just pour in the gelatin, which I've melted in the microwave until it's dissolved. I keep stirring as I pour to make sure everything dissolves perfectly. Now it's time to take the frozen cheesecake out of the freezer and lay out a fan on top of the berries. Carefully arrange them on the surface, and if you use any other berries, raspberries or blueberries, then accordingly also tightly lay them, creating a beautiful pattern on top. Now, it's important to make sure the berries are placed nice and tight, so they don't dangle there. Then, carefully pour the syrup on top. Just spread it all over the surface like this. The cheesecake will start to harden at room temperature as the jelly cools, so you'll need to carefully lift it all up and move it to the refrigerator. Let the cheesecake cool down fully in the refrigerator. It usually takes about 5 hours, but you can leave it overnight if you like. When it's ready, you can take the cheesecake out of the ring. Just give the ring a little warm up with your hairdryer, like this, and then pass it around with hot air. Both cheesecake and jelly inside the ring thaw a little, but do not overheat so that nothing leaks. Now for the finishing touches. Remove the ring and, if you like, you can trim the cheesecake with a pastry spatula. If you add coconut shavings around the perimeter, it will look absolutely beautiful and hide all the little irregularities. And there it is, my cheesecake cake all ready to go. Look how it is a delicate strawberry color and tastes delicate and not sweet, with a slight sourness. I'm so happy you made this delicious strawberry mousse cheesecake with me. It's delicate, airy, and incredibly delicious. It'll be a real showstopper on any table. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on new recipes, put likes on my videos, and share this one with your friends. I'd love to hear how your cake turned out and what recipes you'd like to see in the future in the comments. See you soon, and enjoy!